Okay, so hi Cruz, I'm Casey from THESPIKE. Finally, it's good to finally meet you in person. Now, before we get started with the serious questions, I just want to ask you, how is Vietnam? Is this your first time here? Have you been here before?
This is definitely my first time here, and it's amazing. Feels a lot like Thailand, very hot, humid, but I think food's amazing. People are awesome. The crowd is awesome. So yeah, it's a great journey.
All right, that's great. It's also my first time in Vietnam, so it's been quite fun. Now, to about the game, I don't want to sound a bit negative, but Split was your pick, but it was a really hard fought win for you guys. But even then, you managed to win. But everyone is pointing out some mistakes that you guys were making, especially on the mid lurks and the mid pushes. So I just want to know your thoughts about that.
It's definitely one of the maps we are kind of weak on, but the only reason why we picked it is because Global wouldn't expect it. So we kind of pick our weaker maps against them because I don't want them to play a map they get to prep against us. So that's probably why it seemed a little bit off. But we only had 2-3 days to run this comp. So I think, judging from the time that we have, I think we did our best.
All right, really getting into Frost's head there. So that's a cool plan. Also your teammate Primmie, he had an incredible game today. So anything you want to say about him?
I mean, that kid's amazing. We all love him. Thanks for the carry. I think he's just played amazing, as always.
All right, that's great. Now, I actually asked you this in the press conference as well, and you also said that it was kind of a you were playing mind games with Frost, you know picking the maps that he thinks that you're weak against, but also you were playing under him. So now you've also been a coach as well. So how do you integrate all these experiences into one to lead a team like this?
Um, I think the fact that I had the chance to be with Frost, learn a lot from him, become a coach myself, I see the loopholes. I see the things I could do much better if I was in game as an IGL. So I kind of took that into consideration after the time off. So it also helps me read the game well because now I see the perspective of the players where if I were playing, I wouldn't be able to as a coach. So I think that really helped me understand what's going to happen after a timeout. What should we do after a timeout? What's the adjustment? What adjustment we should make as like a mini coach in the server.
Okay, now I want to bring your attention to the most recent neon nerf that just happened. Obviously, everybody has been complaining about it, but pro consensus is that it was not neon that was broken. It was sentinels and initiators. They are going to fix this. They have said, but just about the neon nerf, what are your thoughts?
I think it's too much. I think it's kind of true. Neon loses its identity, but I think the strafing is fine. The fact that you can run, slide, shoot straight with a judge and a Bucky and a Vandal, I think that's crazy. If you just nerf that, I think everybody's happy to play buff up Sentinel because I don't think it was that overpowered. If it was that overpowered, there should be more Sentinels in being picked in certain comps, right? But most you see is 2, and it has been rarely dominant that it's a double Senti meta. So I don't see why they nerfed it.
Okay, and now they also nerf shotguns along with neon. So overall, across the board, all the shotguns have been nerfed. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's perfect. I think Neon shouldn't get nerfed with her speed. Accuracy, shotgun nerfed, I think that's perfectly fine. But I think the slide and shooting is still there, right? So I think they should just swap that, and I think she would still be played, be viable. But now I think nobody's gonna play.
Okay, now they uh, Riot have also mentioned that they are going to buff initiators and sentinels. For initiators, I think it's going to be fixing the timings of a bit. I don't know what they're going to do about the sentinels. Do you have any ideas?
Probably they're gonna give like Vice a bit of a buff, just back to getting sound cues back. Um, Cypher having a trip that is more powerful than it is right now. But for the initiators, I think 60 seconds is a little bit too much. I think 50 would be nice. I think test. It's a good test to see.
Yeah. Also, as a Sentinel player myself, right now the meta is quite split. Teams are trying Deadlock, yeah, and they're trying Vice and Cypher. Obviously, even though he's nerfed, some teams still pick up Cypher. So, what do you think is the best Sentinel to play right now in the meta?
I think I think it's kind of at the same level. So I don't think Cypher is too good. Killjoy has. I think right now there's a good amount of like balance with all the Sentinels. I don't think there's one particular Sentinel that's really strong. Okay. I think it kind of works with the team style.
What do you think? Which Sentinel do you think works best with your team style?
I think right now it would be Vice. Vice or Cypher.
All right, so I'm almost at the end of my questions. I just have one last question for you, Cruz. PRX are playing T1 right now. Obviously, you're going to be watching the match, but who do you think is going to make it to the grand finals? GE, PRX, or T1?
GE.
GE? You want to face them again?
Would love to.
You'd love to lift a trophy in Frost's face.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay, Cruz, that's all of my questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for taking the time for this interview.
Have a nice day.